Well, hello and welcome to me. This is the first episode of The Secret Life of M, starring me, Miss M. So yeah, welcome. This is my first episode. I did try vlogging before. I just almost fell down. Okay, we have to duck. So, and they just failed because I just hated taking videos everywhere. I just hated it. You know, people think that I like being in front of the camera because I can do it, but it's just that sometimes I like living in the moment. I hate using my phone. But this time around, it is different. As soon as I got accepted for Masters, I knew that I wanted to do this because my Masters program is actually for digital media. I want to pursue something in digital media or marketing in the future. And basically, I'm just doing this vlog as sort of like a practice. Yeah, I'm doing this for my sake in some way. So I said, you know, I'm gonna do this project wherein I show you my life in London, you know, how it is living in London as a master's student. Every time I'm in London, no one hears from me. I disappear from the Philippines for a long time. And there are just so much people who speculate my life. Like, my life just turns into folklore. Like, people think I date someone new every single week and all that. So now that I'm more confident and now that I'm more secure in who I am now ready to show you a sneak peek into my London life, my secret life. Video, I'm gonna show you the last few days I had in Manila, the process of traveling from Manila to London while COVID is going on, and the hotel quarantine, which a lot of people are curious about. So yeah. So my last few days in Manila were so strange. I didn't even know I was gonna leave until a week before I was set to leave. Halfway done, so close. I've been rushing to pack because I didn't expect to leave this soon. Like every single thing in this master's journey, I was driven insane. I'm always so on point, always so ready. Like everyone's like, you just need to relax. But still, because of COVID, everything was delayed. Things were harder to do. There were more things to take care of. Say, for example, my master's offer. It's normally due to come 6 to 8 weeks after you submit your application. But this time around, I think it took 3 or 4 months. They kept moving the date they were going to respond to me. My visa took like 6 days longer than the maximum amount it's supposed to take. Even booking this hotel quarantine was just crazy. So when I did get my visa and I did finally book my hotel, I just really wanted to spend time with everyone in Manila, and I wanted to walk my dog as much as I can. I wanted to play Tekken as much as I can with my brother. We play every night. We are so obsessed. We've been playing for months. But also at the same time, I was gearing for this master's program. I was preparing even before I got my offer. I knew this time around I wanted to do it right. To me, this is like my Drag Race All-Stars. This is like Uni All-Stars. Even my ID picture, I really wanted to be perfect. Today, we are actually taking my ID picture. Because, you know, I want to look hot. I want to look hot in my ID picture. I was debating whether or not to go like more professional or more high school for my ID picture. And I just thought, you know what? It's my last school ID. Like, let's make it feel like school. There are some nights I can't sleep. Like, I lie in bed for 5 hours just thinking, oh my God, I just need to know how much a set of plates cost, how much a set of like wine glasses cost. I even had my graduation look before I even got my offer letter from UCL. My mind just goes crazy planning. I mean, that's just me. So yeah, there was a lot going on. So it was a lot of preparing for masters and at the same time honoring the time I spent in Manila. So for my despedida look, I really wanted to do this death funeral look, like Victorian inspired, period inspired. I've been reading a lot of period novels during quarantine, and I was really so interested with the performance of grief. I wanted to honor my grief because it was really sad. I was crying for a week before I left, and at the same time how people express death, because I knew I was dying to my old self, because every time I leave I just change. So I did want to celebrate like the death of me. For my despedida, since it was COVID, I really wanted to keep it small. So we held it in my sister's apartment where they ordered Filipino food. Oh my god, so cute! Cute! Yes! Mark picked this. He got me an ingat kit and even put it in a purple bag. Oh, guys, I'm gonna miss this so much. So on my last day, I wanted to do my normal routine, so yoga and all that. I really wanted to walk Max for one last time too, but then it rained, so then me and my brother just drove around our subdivision with our dogs, because that's something we used to do a lot during quarantine when we felt trapped. Rons! Rhonda!
Hello!
Hi! Love you, Max! At night, we had dinner as usual. Me and my brother played Tekken one last time. So before I go, I always make sure I say goodbye to the staff. Yes. Thank you! And when I was saying goodbye, it was just so emotional because I could see everyone was on the verge of tears. Some people actually cried. When I left, my sister told me that everyone just kept crying and crying. But at the same time, I can also see how happy everyone is for me. You know, they always used to ask my yaya when I'm gonna leave and all that. But yeah, so leaving is always a mix of like sadness and happiness. And this time around, you know, I spent way more time than I usually do. This has been the longest time I've stayed in Manila. That's why it's extra emotional. The first time I left, I was like 15. You know, so I was so young and I haven't been home properly since then. So this was probably the most emotional goodbye I've had. My yaya brought me to the airport, finally, because she never does, because she gets too sad. She was accompanied by her daughter Jean, who works at our company and lives in our house. So she's one of our best friends. We hang out a lot. Hi, Yay.
Hello.
Sad?
Oh, tama lang.
Happy?
Okay lang.
Excited for me na lang, no?
Yes, good
Happy but
luck.
sad,
Be
right?
safe.
Thank you. So it was lovely. It was me, my brother, Jean, Yaya. I really wanted to hang out with the dogs. Rhonda! Hi, Rhonda! Thanks for bringing me. With Max.
And Rhonda.
Ready to go? Yes, Rhonda. Thank you for bringing me. Love you. Bye, Max.
Bye,
Mama
bye,
loves you.
bye.
I love you. I'll be back for
Kept
you.
licking your face, did you see that?
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Jerome.
Love you, boss!
If you're flying from Naiya, I suggest that you come earlier than your normal time. I normally arrive like an hour and a half before departure, but this time I went earlier, which turned out to be a really, really good decision. What I feel like they do based on what I've observed, they try to do batches of flights. So at my time, we had 5 flights grouped together. Normally, I go through security so quickly, but this time it took so long. There's no distancing whatsoever. I literally had to tell someone, sorry, can you just stay away from me a bit? But yeah, I thought I had time to chill in the lounge, but by the time I passed security, the plane was already boarding, so I had no choice. I just boarded. So this is my first flight and it takes 8 hours. After that, we have like a 2-hour stop in Abu Dhabi to change for my London-bound flight. And that will take 7 hours. I really wanted to take the Philippine Airlines straight flight, because of COVID, but they only have limited dates. So here we are. This is the airline I always use. I'm so used to changing at Abu Dhabi. That's the one place where I always change. So yeah, on the Manila to Abu Dhabi flight, it wasn't as crowded in business class, although I would say in economy it was really, really full. I don't think I cried towards the end. I feel like it's because I cried so much throughout the week that now I just have no tears left to cry. I haven't been sleeping like this week. I only slept for 3 hours today. I slept for like 4 hours yesterday. I'm just so happy that my skin isn't reacting because normally it does. Over quarantine, I really got my whole skincare routine down and everything. So even though I haven't slept, I'm not really breaking out. So that's good. I mean, I'm not a fan of like makeup in the airport, so I'm just happy my skin's cooperating with me. Dinner in the sky. I said I wasn't gonna eat mains because I'm full. I really have no appetite. I'm not normally like this, so I just asked for bread. I brought this stand and it's so helpful. So I got to watch like the K-dramas that I want to watch, and of course Attack on Titan. So yeah. I had a lot of people asking me what requirements are needed at the airport, and I think the main thing is to have an RT-PCR test, because other than that, it will depend on what country you're visiting. Since I'm going to the UK from the Philippines, a red list country, I don't really need like vaccination cards and all that, just because they view you the same way whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. So the main thing if you're flying to the UK is to have a booking for the quarantine hotel. Now, I suggest you do this like a week or two in advance because you'll see in all the reviews that it's not as straightforward and it is so difficult. The website glitches a lot, and when you do try to call for support, they always put you on hold for like 30 minutes. They never reply emails. So I would say get that sorted ASAP. So I arrived in Abu Dhabi after 8 hours. It's an airport that I'm really familiar with. When I do land in Abu Dhabi, I try to butch it up as much as possible. I tie my hair up, you know. Every time I fly, especially before when my passport wasn't updated, I try to look as gender neutral as possible, just so I can get through security and all that quicker. I mean, I used to always have so much difficulty proving my identity. Even when I'm paying in malls, sometimes they don't allow me to use my debit card. I remember one time in Harrods, they were like, we have to wait for your boyfriend. I'm like, baby, I am the boyfriend. I also do it because I know that I'm passing through Abu Dhabi. When I try to pass through like Muslim countries, I try to respect like their rules and all that because I don't want to go through any more trouble. I don't want to get held up. From what I know, Abu Dhabi is way more progressive compared to other countries and cities because Abu Dhabi is one of the most international cities in the world. But I still try to dress as gender neutral as possible. Even with the toilets, I try to be as careful as possible. I only use the toilets in the spa shower, you know, because I don't want to get into trouble, baby. Though I will say, even if I try to butch it up, all the staff are really so nice and they try to make me feel comfortable. When I'm on the flights, even if they see in the boarding pass and in my passport and with how I dress, even if they see that I'm dressed like a guy, they do address me with feminine pronouns, which I really do appreciate. So normally what I do is I shop a bit and then I head to the lounge for a shower at their spa. Okay, so I've finished showering. This is something I always do here, so I'm always prepared. I always have slippers, facial wash, hair oil, you know, the things I need to like take a really good shower. So usually what I do is take a shower and then pop into the spa for a facial because, you know, airplanes really dry your face. But since it's COVID, I brought my own face mask. But the thing is, I don't have enough time. So I'm gonna do that in the quarantine hotel because I need to kill time anyway, you know. So yeah, on to catch my Abu Dhabi to London flight. Halfway through. So I'm just one more flight. I've already boarded. So this is the Abu Dhabi to London flight. This takes slightly less time. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait. Now, like, I'm starting to show that I haven't slept. I haven't slept for weeks. I slept for 2 hours on the plane a while ago. I slept 3 hours the day before that. So, still alive, but I'm barely moving. So I've slept for an hour, woke up, and we're still here. We were supposed to leave an hour ago, but there were luggages that they still haven't loaded, so... less time in the quarantine hotel then. The flight delay was just so stressful. Actually, now that I think of it, it happens a lot to me in Abu Dhabi. So yeah. So the Abu Dhabi to London flight was really packed, even in business class. So when you arrive in Heathrow, there's actually quite a few signs that show you where to go if you are arriving from a red list country. Now, Abu Dhabi isn't a red list country, but if you've been in a red list country for the last 10 days, then you really need to follow the signs. They actually make you go to the Terminal 4 transfer area instead of going with the rest of the passengers. They take your reservation and you have to wait. After a few minutes of waiting, around 20 minutes, they all boarded us up in a bus. It felt like we were traveling forever. And I was like, where the heck are we even going? We actually had our own immigration area. When we arrived, there were already passengers there. We were around 100, 150 people. But then I could see that there were only 2 immigration officers. And I was like, this is so crazy. And I thought we already had it bad. But then after a while, one of them left, leaving just one officer for over 100 people. I had to wait in the queue for over an hour. So when it was close to being my turn, that's when like 6 other immigration officers turned up. And I was like, where have you been this whole time? For my flight, it was so crazy because the luggages took another extra 45 minutes to arrive. And I was already one of the last passengers to get through immigration. So I can just imagine how much longer the other passengers on my flight had to wait. My baggages have the priority tag, so they were the first to come out. But then only 3 of my luggages came out, and I had to wait an additional hour for my last luggage. Fucking finally, man. I thought they actually lost it. So our flight landed at 1 p.m. and I managed to leave Heathrow at like 5:30. It took that long for like the whole process. So if I were you, pee on your flight right before you come down. Which is what I did, but I needed to pee badly anyway. So they get you into the buses and the staff were really, really so nice to me. They actually helped me carry my luggage. They didn't help anyone else. And once you're on the bus, you're actually with other passengers who booked with other hotels. So you go through different hotels first until you get to yours. And I was lucky that my hotel was second on the list because I was really, really tired at that point. So when you do arrive, the day you arrive counts as day 0, no matter what time you arrive. And then the next day obviously is day 1, and so on and so on. When you arrive at the hotel, they make you just sign a couple of papers and all that. They give you a booklet explaining all the rules which you keep throughout your whole stay. They also gave me a menu so that you could select your meal preferences for like the whole week. You select everything from breakfast to dinner. And I would suggest that you take a picture of the form because they take it afterwards because it would be good to know what you're gonna have each day. Initially, the staff were like, so, and this was as respectful as possible. There was a staff that was like, so are you a guy or a girl? And I'm just like, I'm both, baby, is that fine? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I've just arrived in my room. I'll do a proper tour of like what I've done with it. or like what I'm doing. After, I'm just so tired. Long 2 days. Happy to be resting. So from what I know, my hotel is the only non-chain hotel available for quarantine. Compared to the other chain hotels, it's quite new, which is good because the carpets and all that are newer and everything. So it's more fresh, it's more clean. And the one thing that I could say is that most of the staff are really, really friendly. They're really accommodating. They sort of understand the difficulty of having to quarantine for 10 days in your room. Okay, so I'm gonna tour you around my room, okay? So this is the entrance. There we go. It's quite long, actually. This is where I keep like water supplies, trash to throw later, you know, mga breakfast, just in case I miss the breakfast. This is like the desk. This stand has actually been so helpful for like FaceTime and all that. So here I have my candle warmer, which I brought all the way from Manila. With my candle, it's Turon scented. Cool, my cousin gave me that. My water station. Of course, with my water bottle, which my brother thinks I'm too dependent on. It's like a UV. It's a UV water bottle to make sure that, you know, the water I drink is safe. I even have like sponges. I told my eye to pack a sponge so that I can clean the mug that I brought for my tea. And of course, vitamins, because COVID time, why not? So this is the bed. It's supposed to be a double bed, but it's actually like two twins put together. So what I do is every 2 nights I switch. So yeah. This is my view. I don't have natural lighting, as you can see. So what I do is I turn on all the lights all at the start of the day, and then I gradually turn them off to sort of like mimic the natural lighting throughout the day. It's the TV, it's decent. I brought my Apple TV, but sometimes since the Wi-Fi is slow, what I do is I download on Netflix and then I connect my iPad. Whoop. So yeah, I'm gonna show you the bathroom. This is the bathroom, not bad. Open shower, so you have to close the door because it steams up. I have a lot of toiletries. It's not bad, it's clean. There's a big, you know, table that you can use. I have 3 kinds of brushes. I even bought my own hand soap because the soap is so bad. So I always anticipate that the soap won't be to my liking. So I bring my own. So yeah, see, this is the bathroom. It's not bad. You know, it's clean, it's small, but it's fine. Obviously, there are a few difficulties with staying in a hotel quarantine, apart from like having to quarantine, obviously. So the one problem I experienced was the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is really slow. I thought the Wi-Fi in my house in the Philippines was already slow, but then it runs at 200 Mbps compared to the hotel's 6 Mbps. And that's if you're lucky. This is my pocket Wi-Fi. I bought this. I spent £80 on pocket Wi-Fi only for it to be weaker than the actual Wi-Fi in the hotel. So, fail. One thing that I struggled with, especially during the initial days, was the food. I'm so used to snacking throughout the day rather than having like 3 big meals. It also doesn't help that instead of like a secure time, they give you a window. So say for example, dinner, they say that it could arrive between 6 to 9 and you just never know when it will arrive. And it actually differs from day to day, probably depending on what food they'll serve. Now, another issue that I had with the food is actually how spicy it is. Most of the staff are Indian, so a lot of the food is Indian food, which I don't mind because I really love Indian food. But the only thing is, it's really, really spicy to have every day. Now, I don't mind spicy, but the level of spiciness is just so crazy, and I just can't have it every day, mainly for my health and my face. I think it's just so wrong and crazy because they obviously have to cater for everyone, for multiple nationalities and multiple ages, and I just can't imagine having to quarantine with a kid. and just being served spicy food. So I just dropped so much weight so quickly. I order a second dinner on top of the dinner that they do serve. And yeah, I'm very pleased. I ordered from this Japanese restaurant with really good reviews, and it saved my life and it saved my weight. So the electricity just died. I don't know what happened. I was washing my face. It just died. I'm gonna go out and check it. What's happening? The emergency lights are turned on, meaning it's not just in my room. The power did die. What is happening? I've heard no news. I don't know what's happening. I can't really just go out because that would break my quarantine. Oh, there! Oh my god! Yes! So, 15 minutes a day, you're allowed to walk out and exercise and just go around this parking lot, which is really helpful for me because, like, I don't have a window. I don't have an access to sunlight. The first time I walked out here, I remember really squinting and I was like, fuck, it's so bright. So ever since then, I go out with like my shades, my sunglasses. And so yeah. I always look so pink when I'm going for my walks. The security has to pick you up from your room and they escort you all the way down. They do make conversation, they're really nice.
So you take whatever photos you have to take today.
I know, yeah, I will. This was so crazy. Really proud of this tea cooler I made during quarantine. Yes, love it. So you need to take a COVID test on day 2 and day 8. Now, initially when I saw it on the website, I literally thought that someone goes around and like tests you from your door. But actually, they just send you a kit. So this is my sample. Yeah. And you actually have to test yourself. Now, it helps that we have swab machines at home, so the whole process wasn't so foreign to me. But it does feel weird having to like swab your tonsils because you can't have the swab touch like your tongue or your lips or anything other than like the tonsils. But what I will say is swabbing your nose is so much more comfortable than having someone else swab it for you. Here's my test kit that's about to be mailed. Really flimsy box, and I feel like they could have done better with the security seals and everything. But other than that, I'm just glad it's done. So on day 6, and I'm gonna be as quiet as possible because they're probably outside. So on day 6, I could hear a lot of my neighbors coughing out loud, like in their rooms, but also at the same time, the security stationed outside my room. There is security stationed every few rooms or so. I could actually hear him having a really bad cough. And it wasn't even like a normal cough. It was like a really bad cough. And I was just so stressed because I was like, I'm not spending even a single day in hotel quarantine. So I rang up security straight up and I asked them whether or not they test daily and all that. The lady on the phone, the head of security, she assured me that they do test and all that. They test every day, that's what she said. And after a while, I could hear another security approach the guy, and he disappeared for a while. So maybe they tested him, or I don't know. Like, I obviously felt bad, but I couldn't risk it. I just couldn't. So on day 9, I got my second swab result, which meant after day 10, I'm finally out of here. So I really wanted to leave exactly at midnight of the Thursday because I didn't want to spend any more time in quarantine. Luckily, I have someone here in London who helps me out. His name is Kuya Rumel. He's the brother of my aunt's executive assistant who's worked for over 15 years or something. I'm really close to him. And when I moved to London, I really became close to his brother because they're so nice. I mean, he literally helps me run my errands for free. And he even used to come over every weekend to drop off food, which is really nice of him. I let him know that I was able to leave on the midnight, so he was there on the dot.
Hello, kumusta? Okay lang, kuya. I'm so happy. Nakalabas na rin. Thank you.
The car ride was so fun. It was so fun to get to talk to other people again. And I remember I was just being so strange.
Oh my God, na-excited Ah, hello, London! Yeah!
Ilan? 2 years hindi ka nagpunta dito?
Oh, 2 years rin, kuya. Yes, my old flat. Yes. Oh my gosh, ayun yung train station na lagi kong sinasakyan dati. Yes! Woohoo! Yeah!
So I'm back home now and I haven't been sleeping again because I've been running around London doing errands, cleaning my flat, fixing everything I need for school. When I got home from the quarantine hotel, I realized that I left so many things. I left heels, I left slippers, I left one of my favorite hoodies. And it was because I was enjoying editing my vlog so much that I didn't realize that I only had like 2-3 hours to pack. And apparently that wasn't enough. I was literally running outside my hotel with my bathrobe on me, with mugs and everything, because the person picking me up was already there and I just wasn't ready yet. I did try calling the hotel, but apparently they don't keep any things. They just throw it because it's COVID. So yeah, I mean, for some reason, the things that I did leave, I noticed during my stay were either like the wrong size or slowly deteriorating. So I'm just seeing this as an opportunity to replace them, even if it really, really hurts, okay? So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek you had into my secret life. Originally, the next video I wanted to do was an apartment tour because I really wanted you to see my new home. But since I'm going for the amenities tour in my building this Monday or Tuesday, I thought that I'd show you that instead next. Because one of the things that really hooked me into renting this place was the amenities. They have a spa, they have a really nice gym, they have a private cinema, they have a pool. So I really do want to tour you around. I haven't seen anything, and so I'm really, really looking forward to filming this vlog. But yeah, other than that, comment down below what else you want to see. So far, I'm kind of booked with all my ideas, but I'll see if I can accommodate it. If you've enjoyed the sneak peek you had into my secret life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I can't believe I just said that. But actually, please, really do it, okay? See ya!